A few years ago when we started investing in India, it was hard to find sector-specific funds, outside of infrastructure. So we have invested in IDFC and we are looking actively at the infrastructure space. But for the most part, the majority of the market was generalist PE funds, doing minority stakes in growth and growth capital. And so that's where the bulk of CDC investment is today. What's happened over the last 3-4 years is that as the market has matured, the funds we now see sector-specific funds. So, for example, we're seeing healthcare funds, we're seeing education funds. So we are seeing quite a broad spectrum of sector-specific funds, and absolutely, that's of interest to CDC. Well, I'm a firm believer of the fact, and I think indeed CDC is as well, that private equity is a local business. And so, you need to have teams on the ground that are very local, comprised of professionals who are local, and that just helps in a variety of ways, in networking, in sourcing deals, and executing, and also helps, in softer ways in forging relationships between GPs and entrepreneurs that they're working with. So I'd say that we do have a preference, and that also plays into our mandate of encouraging and fostering growth within these economies and ensuring that local first-time teams are indeed in a position where they can raise their first-time funds. Certainly last year I heard numbers like there were 500 funds in the market, and that is mind-boggling, and certainly it's interesting because as investors we have so much choice in terms of funds. I'd say realistically though, and for serious funds, there's probably less than 50 that I would say are comprised of quality teams that are credible investors. So while there are a number of funds, and if a lot of competition has obviously led to high valuations and all these problems that we've seen in the Indian market, I think the next few years should be quite interesting when the credible and quality funds rise to the top and the other funds sort of go away.